Hey guys, welcome to the video. I'm Amy and I post 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. EST. I post lots of first impressions, 3-day foundation wear tests, makeup reviews, makeup favorites, things like that. If that sounds like your kind of content, then make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out. Today's video, we are going to be talking all about the new Natasha Denona Mini Love Story, whatever this is called. So I have the lipstick, the eyeshadow, and the blush and highlight duo here. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up so that I know to keep making videos like this. And if you want to see how I created this look using these products, then just keep watching. Okay, I am so excited to get into these products. Okay, so let me just open these boxes really quickly. Also, by the way, can I talk to you about the boxes? They have these beautiful little tabs on them. Here, let me close this so I can show you. So there's a little tab right here. Do you see that? So it's easy to open. The luxury in that little moment for me was like top tier. Like, I don't have to pull out scissors or rip this package open, which I'm still gonna get rid of this package because I'm not big on keeping unicartons. So let's get our first little look in here. The blush itself, I definitely thought was going to be too pink for me. I was like, that's going to be too bright for what I like. But it does look a bit more neutral in person. It's not as vibrant as the actual packaging. And then the blush actually has like a pink gold shift to it. What I imagine like NARS Orgasm would look like, even though I have not seen or swatched that in my life, so I don't know for fact. So let's try it with a brush on one side and with a sponge on the other side, but first I want to feel it with my finger just to feel out the texture. Okay, oh, all right, so I'm gonna give you my little finger swatch like so. Okay, and here's it kind of blended out. It's matte. It kind of reminds me of the new Rare Beauty blushes. Actually, let me grab that right now. Hold on. I already had my Fenty cream blush pulled out because I felt like the colors were very similar. So I'm gonna swatch that next to it just so we can see the color. But the Fenty one is much more like the Tower 28 one. It's very, and the Natasha, the color is very similar. The Fenty one has a little bit of a glow, and the Natasha one is matte, like powder matte. And that's how the Rare Beauty ones are too, is they feel very creamy, but creamy in the way that an eyeshadow feels creamy almost. You know what I mean? Let's see the like formula there. So this one's the Rare Beauty, and that is the shade Nearly Mauve. This is Fenty and Petal Poppin', and then this is the new Natasha Denona one, which is called Pink Coral. So let me touch this now that I've touched both of those. It feels much thicker and much more like a powder. It's so weird because it is very clearly, let's see if you can see. It's very clearly like a cream, but it just turns into like a powder. Interesting. So this was like one swipe. Maybe we should just see where that takes us. Wow. Okay, I'm really glad I only did the one swipe. Well, that's some pigment, guys. Okay. Wow. Wow. Oh. That's nice. It's quite nice. It is matte. Totally matte. I think it's the color is not my favorite. I will say that. Like, it's not my #1 favorite kind of color, but I think it looks really nice and really fresh. I feel like this is an excellent shade for spring. So let's try it with a sponge. I'm curious to see it with a sponge since it is that kind of like matte formula. Nice. So as you can see, this side is a little bit more sheer, and you can see a little bit more of a glow on my skin coming from the moisture in the sponge. I feel like this did blend deep into my skin a bit more. This one kept a little bit more of its vibrancy. I'm gonna see if I can just knock this down so that they match a little bit. But I think it looks good both ways. I don't notice it taking out my foundation, and my foundation is having a rough time today because my skin is having a rough time today. So I think it looks really nice on my skin for what's going on my skin. So I'm gonna go a little bit over my nose, a little bit on my chin. Since I'm so pale, I like to spread the color around, you know? So yeah, I think that's really nice. Let's swatch this highlight first. Wipe off my fingers. It's such a cute little imprint, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna swatch it now. Okay, interesting. That looks beautiful. Yes, it is very pink to gold. Looks quite reflective. It does have a sheerness to it, but I would say it has a pink base with kind of like a pale yellow gold kind of reflect there. All right, I'm gonna take my brush, and it does feel a little bit more dry, maybe like a baked formula, like a thin, dry kind of formula. So I'm taking my Real Techniques setting brush and lightly messing up all the little hearts in there. So I kind of pat it on like this and then start to swirl it around, really crush those pearl pigments and make it look really nice and smooth. So with, it looks nice and reflective and smooth and wet. And I have a lot of texture going on my skin today, and I don't think it's really picking up. It does have like teeny tiny kind of glitters in it, rather than it being like completely pearl. It does have teeny tiny little specks that you can see, but I feel like I can see it on this mirror, but I can't see it on this mirror, which is like a foot away from me. So it's not something that I don't think anyone else would see on your face. I think it looks quite nice. Here are the swatches of the 5 in this order, if that makes. But this shade right here is kind of like a thicker, chunkier, glittery metallic that has like an orangey reflect with some pink in there. And then we have like a mauve-y color, it's like a mid-tone, and then a deep like eggplant. And then this one is, I thought it would have more pink to it, but it really doesn't. It's quite white looking. And it looks basically just like a reflect. And then this pink appears to be the same formula as this, where it's just like a soft, creamy, metallic with no glitter in it. And it's just like a really nice pink color. It looks like there might be like a little bit of a gold reflect. I think that this last color kind of encapsulates what's in this blush palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and start in this shade right here with my NYX number 16 per usual. I think that shade would be beautiful on green eyes. I can't wait to see Samantha March work with this because she has beautiful green eyes. Oof. I think that's really nice. It's a really nice color. Really nice. Let's match it up on the other side. I'm gonna take my NYX number 44 into the deepest shade there and deepen up this outer portion into the crease a little bit. Now I'm going to take my NYX 16, tap lightly into that first shade. Same thing to the other eye. I don't want to cut my crease or anything because I just want this to kind of be a more soft look. I'm going to go into this shade on this concealer brush, dry first, and just see what happens. I think it's nice, but I think it could do more. So I am going to put some on the brush, spray it with my little Wet n Wild spray that I'm working on. I'm going to take another NYX 16 into the shade we just used, that pink metallic shade. But I'm going to get on the very, very tip of it. And I'm going to lightly blend that into this area. I'm just kind of thinking that looks really pretty, that kind of gold pink shimmer over top of the purple a little bit. Like so. Love. I'm going to take my finger, same pink shade. I really like it. I'm going to take the 44 into that deepest shade again and just a little bit of blend. A rougher number 2 here. And I'm going to take the lighter purple shade, the kind of lavendery shade. Taking the NYX 44 that we were using with the dark color, I wiped it off and I'm just kind of blending. I'm going to take the lightest shade, the reflective shade, and pop that in the inner corner. Whoa. Okay. Popping. So I'm going to take my rougher number 3 and try that again with the lightest shade and see if I can cover. Taking blank NYX 16. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of this off camera on the other side, and then we will return. I might have brows and mascara on by then, who knows. We are back. I finished off this eye, put on mascara, put on brows, and I also put some purple eyeliner in my waterline. And I wanted to talk to you also, I need to mention that I did end up taking the shade that we hadn't used yet and kind of sprinkling it over my eye to give it a little bit more of like a chunky glitter vibe. It didn't change like the tone, I don't think, of it very much at all. But overall, I think that the eye look looks really nice. Now I also have the lipstick from this collection, and this is called I Need a Nude lipstick in 36 NP Amarosa. It's called Neutral Pink, right? NP. But I think it looks a little bit warmer than what I was expecting. So it's this. That's a super lovely color here. Let me give you a... First of all, this packaging. So satisfying. Can you see? Ugh. I'm going to give you guys close-ups. I'm going to take photos so that they actually look good. But there's the lipstick. I think it looks really nice. It feels really creamy. I also added to my cart a couple of the lip pencils. So this is the cheaper, the old style lip pencil, lip liner pencil in L6. So let's see what that one looks like. Okay, that one looks way warmer. That's L6. And And then I also got the new lip liners, the I Need a Nude Lip Crayon in NP1 Natasha. Ooh, yeah, that's my kind of shade right there. It's closer to the lipstick, but it is actually more cool. So I am gonna wipe off what's left of my lip balm. And this pencil is more like a gel pencil, whereas this one's like an old style pencil. So this one is a little bit more creamy, this one's a little bit more dry, but not extremely dry to where you wouldn't want to use it. But I am going to use Natasha. It's like a half step deeper than my lip color, but it's a very similar tone. I love it. Okay. Okay, it's more of a dry, tacky formula, so I feel like it will last really long. It doesn't like feel creamy like a lipstick, if that makes sense. But I love that color. Oh, it's so good. If you're noticing that the outer corners of my eyes or the inner corner of my eyes are getting messed up, it's because my eye won't stop watering. Let's go ahead and put the lipstick on over this. And the lipstick is a little bit more warm and a little bit lighter, I think, so. Oh my god. So there's the difference, lip liner, lipstick. The lipstick is creamy, but it is still quite like a matte texture. This reminds me a lot of the MAC lipsticks. And the smell too. It's like sugary sweet. So there is what that looks like. I don't mind it with the eye look. I don't think it is popping off in any way. Like, it's not, wow, that's the most perfect like lip color for that eyeshadow. It's just kind of like a, you know, middle ground nude, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it. But especially with how like bright the blush was, I'm surprised to see how muted that is. So I'm going to take a little bit of the blush, less than that. I'm going to tap it on my finger first and then kind of brighten up the lip a little. I don't know if you noticed a difference there. Yeah, that's definitely brighter, right? And a little bit peachier. So that was the Love collection. Now, in order to get this stuff more quickly, she had free 2 to 3 days shipping if you spent $150. So of course I spent $150. So that's where I got the lip liners. I also got one of her liquid eyeshadows, the chromium ones. This one is in Infra Nude. Let me swatch this. I thought this was like, it fit into my collection with what I already have, but it also is like unique to my collection. So let me give you a little swatcheroo of this. Oh gosh. Okay. So it's pink to green and maybe like a little bit of like a gold in there, but like, can you even see the green? I think you just see the pink, but it, like, when I'm looking at it, it looks like lime green. But here's the little bottle, and I think that's super pretty. So I'm excited to use that. Obviously, I just wanted to use what I had, the Love collection today. And then I also did pick up the mini glam palette because, guys, I couldn't help myself. Hold on, So let me know down below if you would like to see me use some of this other stuff in a video, or if I should just like use it on my own this weekend. You know, it's up to you. I will do whatever you say. Let's go ahead, now that we're done with that, and do just like a rundown of my thoughts on everything that we tried here today. So first of all, the Little Love Cheek Duo Cream Blush and Highlight. I'm pleasantly surprised by this. I think that it looks really, really nice on my cheeks. It looks really at home on me. I thought the color, especially when I was first putting it on, it was quite bright, but I do think it warmed up to my face really nicely. I love cream blushes that have a dry down so that you don't have to worry about like setting it and losing the color or anything like that, especially for my dry skin. I don't know about oily skin people, you might have to set it. I don't know if you would have to set this one because it really is like a powder finish. It is more pigmented than I thought. I'm curious to see some people with deeper skin tones, if it shows up on them, you know, enough to be considered a blush, or if it would just be like a waste of their time. And then I do really like the highlight. I like that it doesn't have much of a base for my skin tone, at least. I can't tell. It does just look quite ethereal, and it's kind of like a wet looking highlight. It's not like a chunky highlight, even though I did say it does have a little bit of like glitter particle, but if you just blend that in like I did, I think it looks really beautiful on the skin. I probably wouldn't have picked this up if it didn't have this adorable limited edition packaging. I do think for me the packaging and the imprint is what really, really sold me on this. I knew that I would like these products, like the style of products that they are, but the packaging is like, I was like, yeah, I gotta get that. So I would have probably just picked up palette and the lipstick because those look like things that I would like, whereas like this was like the packaging really got me, and I'm surprised at how much that I like it, but I wouldn't say that this is like the top thing that I tried today. Okay, let's talk about the eyeshadow palette. One of my most watched videos is actually a dupe video for the Natasha Denona Glam palette, and I really wanted it because I really missed out on the ABH Sultry palette, which everybody loves, but I really wanted, like, I wanted to itch that like neutral, cool tone, glam palette. I wanted to scratch that itch that I had. Words. I really wanted it, and I think it's beautiful, and I was really glad it was like one of the midi palettes. I wanted it so badly, and I was like, okay, let's not do that. Let's go through your collection because you do have lots of neutrals, and let's find some dupes. So I did create a whole dupe video, and I feel like I duped it pretty well. I will link that here. So actually when I saw this, I started to go through my collection to do a dupe video because I was like, people love Natasha Denona, hate her prices. We want dupes. I want to start doing more dupe videos on my channel. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. Would you like me to just dupe old eyeshadow palettes or only ones that are brand new? Like, let me know down below. So I went through my collection and I started swatching. I pulled out everything that had any kind of pink, any kind of purple in my collection, and I was looking at her like photo swatches, this thing right here, and it's like not the best swatches in my opinion to really show what the colors look like, but I'm swatching and swatching and swatching, and I couldn't find anything that I thought really matched what was in here. So the ones that I thought that I had found were like maybe this one, which is just like a neutral mauve situation, and maybe this one, which is kind of, you know, like the highlight shade. And I was like, those aren't even like the most exciting shades in here, and I really felt like if I were gonna dupe it, it's only 5 shades. I had to find 5 shades that were really good, so I couldn't do that. And that's when I realized that I didn't have these kind of pink shades in my collection. So I was like, yeah, I want that palette. I want that one. That's one of the ones that I want. So then I decided to pick it up, and I figured like if you guys are interested, I can go through my collection and try some swatches and stuff. So let me know down below if you'd be interested in me trying to swatch this now that I have it, to see the colors right next to a dupe. So let me know if you would like me to do that. I think this one has a good mix of having the 2 mattes. You have your medium toned one and your deep toned one, and then 3 different metallics that are different formulas, different colors. So I do think that this palette would give you a wide variety. So if it is something that you are interested in and these are colors that you think you would wear, then I would recommend it. But it's Natasha Denona, so if you guys want to see a dupe video, let me know down below and I will do that. And then we have the lipstick. Now, I wish it were a little bit cooler. but it is really, really comfortable, and I do like the color. So I am happy to have a Natasha Denona lipstick and like the magnetic closure. Ooh. Ugh. And the packaging, super cute. Love it. But I do love the Juvia's Place lipsticks. I do think they are, it's a beautiful formula. They have tons of different nudes. If you want something a little bit more creamy, I recommend the Propa Beauty ones. If you're really pale, you might not find a nude there, but most everybody else would. So I'm glad that I purchased this, but I wouldn't necessarily like, you don't need to go get it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!